Hello and welcome. Today I have a question. What if I told you that in an alternate universe, Sean Strickland and Kimbo Slice were not only in the army, but were in the same platoon, having to live together, coincidentally, doing everything day to day lives together? Well, ladies and gentlemen, and by ladies, probably like my mother. That's about it, probably. So, my mother and gentlemen, I present to you. Fuck, that was a long ass cue. The UFC fighter platoons. Now, you know, as a mastermind predictor, the best on YouTube, you're probably wondering in your mind, well, what is the UFC fighter platoons? Well, yeah, if you were to watch this fucking video, probably you'll fucking know what the fuck I'm about to do. But anyways, I made a comprehensive list of 4 platoons, just like in a typical company, and I'm gonna stack them up against each other to see how they work together as a platoon, not as fighters, but as a platoon. And the criteria of that. Cue the next transition. Oh fuck. Okay. The first criteria I want to go over is the Army fitness test. Love this. I hand drew this myself, by the way. Anyways, if I'm in a platoon, I want to know how fit these guys are. I want to know if these fighters, if they have the cardio, they have the conditioning, they have the will to do a 350 deadlift, do some push-ups, to do a little sprint drag carry, to do a plank, to do a 2-mile run. I really want to see what these guys can do together, not just one or two 500 AFTs. I want to see what these guys can do as a platoon, as a whole, as an average. Okay. All right, let's move to number 2. The quality of life. I want to know if I'm living with 40 fucking guys, how is my morale going to be? Through the good, through the bad, through the ugly, no matter what. I'm sleeping with these guys, whether if that's in a fucking barracks or if it's out on the field. If I'm miserable, it's obviously not gonna help. But if I have some buddies, some good brothers, I could actually call them some brothers. I want to see how well I work with them. Okay, how much I really vibe with them. If it's the type where like, hey, let's go do some workouts, let's go lift, or shut the fuck up, I'm just trying to read, I'm just trying to do, stick on me. I stick to myself. I want to see, how much I can hang with these guys. Yeah. And finally, number 3, the lethality. Kind of the most important. If I'm sent out as a soldier, I want to see how lethal my platoon can be. I want to see if after all the training we do, no matter what, if if we work together, if we don't work together, I want to see how good we could do on a deployment. That's kind of the whole fucking purpose. Am I right? All right. Anyways, let's get to the first platoon. And first platoon, or in other fucking words, the platoon A through F. Gotta designate them by last name. Fuck weight categories. That don't mean shit. It's past, present. It's a lot of fighters. A typical platoon, you got like 40 guys. Got some squad leaders, got your platoon sergeant. So as you can see, there's a lot of fighters, but there's some of them are also marked. And the green ones and the red ones, I distinct them as fighters who can either benefit the platoon for like exceptionally or drop the platoon and get some down points on it. I'm not going to explain every single fighter. That's too much, too long. Video's too long for that, so I'm just gonna go off like some of the highlights. And so number 1, the platoon sergeant, Don Fry. This guy, come on, brother, come on. This guy, if not a platoon sergeant, he's a goddamn drill sergeant. This man is bread, butter, America, like America. And so I felt like I couldn't have chose a better platoon sergeant than Don Fry. I mean, going through A through F. Keep in mind. And some of the squad leaders, I got Chandler, Benoit, and Ferguson. And I specifically wanted to highlight Saint Denis because in real life he is actual special forces for the French military. And I feel like, what better way than a leader in a squad, in a military squad, than for Benoit. And so I feel like, he would rock some shit up. He's definitely killed people. I don't know if that's publicly confirmed or not, but let's be real. If you're special forces, you probably killed someone, most likely. And Tony Ferguson, although I put him as a squad leader, I don't think he would be the best squad leader. I think he would actually deter the platoon for a little bit of the worst. Because I feel like, let's just say, for example, if we're in World War II, and, me and my 36 other brothers, platoon mates, whatever you want to call them, we are on the beach, on the boats, on our way to Omaha Beach. And we're getting word that our buddies, our other platoons, our other companies, blah blah blah, like they're getting mowed down. They're getting slaughtered minutes before we arrive. I feel Tony Ferguson will be the type of guy to be like, it's too bad. People die. People gotta sacrifice what they gotta sacrifice. And, the point is, we gotta keep going. So what if your brother dies? You better go right after him and go, make sure his life has meaning. Like, he wouldn't see, in my opinion, life as, 1 man, 2 man, 3 man. He would just see it for the better good. And it doesn't matter if 35 of us die, if 39 die. As long as one of us can make it out with a successful mission, that's what matters. And maybe perhaps from his perspective, he's right. And so some other guys that I want to point out is, Nate Diaz. This guy, he don't know shit. Same with Edwards. I feel like coming back into the present, if we're doing some weapons qual, and, Leon Edwards is up. He's ready to go. Got his mag. Got his freaking M4. I feel like, Edwards, he's like the type where he don't know shit. Like, he's the type of guy where it's like, hey, my weapon's on fire now. What do I do now? What the fuck else are you going to do? Fucking fire your weapon. Like, he would just ask a lot of obvious fucking low IQ questions that everyone should know the answer to, but he would just still just be like a dum-dum. Okay? Daniel Cormier, let's be real, brother. You're not running a freaking 14-minute, 15-minute, 13-minute, whatever, like 2 mile. At best, bro. I got to give you 20, 21 minutes. Okay? All right? Because I'm trying to consider everything. Again, 3 criteria: lethality, quality of life, AFT. I want to see how these guys can work together, because they could be good at one thing and then be bad at another. Dvalishvili, I got to consider him kind of bad, especially also considering Cejudo. I feel like when it comes to the quality of life, these guys are going to be kind of annoying. I'm not going to fuck with that, because if they talk too much, that's a problem. Okay? There's times where we got to be serious, times where we can fuck around. These guys, to me, they're just going to be serious majority of the time. And that's just not a good morale booster. Quite the opposite for Joaquin Buckley and Tom Aspinall. I feel like these guys, they're going to bring up the platoon very good. They're always going to motivate us. They're always going to crack jokes. And I really fuck with them. That's the vibe I get from them. Kyle, I feel like for him especially. Fuck, I got a cough. I feel like somehow, some way, the way he perceives me, I feel like he's definitely gonna like somehow, some way sneak some alcohol in the barracks, and I feel like that's a good vibe. That's some good vibes. And yeah, so that's first platoon. Let's move on to some second platoon. Wonderful transition, custom made by me, by the way. All right, we have second platoon, letters G through L, and I chose for the platoon sergeant of second platoon, rightfully being Brock Lesnar. All right, come on, he has the gruddy, kind of grunt, personality, physicality, he has everything. And for the squad leaders, holy shit, I got a fucking cough. Oh my god. So squad leaders, I got Demetrius Johnson, Bobby Green, and Josh Hokett. And I believe for out of all the platoons, Josh Hokett is one of the only ones to have a yellow. because I feel like he could bring both good and bad to the platoon, especially as a leader. Whereas for Demetrius Johnson, I see him as a very, very excellent leader because he will give you wonderful feedback. And, just like us, we're all human, blah, 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 blah. We make mistakes, except me, actually. I'm better than y'all. We all make mistakes. And, let's just say, for example, we're about to do a long rock. Okay, we're going 20 miles. All right, easy work. I do that shit in like 2 hours. Nothing crazy. But DJ, he would give us advice on the best way to pack our rucks and the best form to walk. The fuck's up with my pronunciation? I feel like overall he would just give us great motivation and feedback. Yes, he's a leader, but he's also a helper. He leads by example. He leads by positivity. Okay, I'm rambling too much. Bobby Green, yeah, I get good vibes of him as a leader. For example, I feel like, yeah, that's enough. All right, Josh Hokett. He's a mix. Let's be real. He would give a great fucking pre-battle speech. Okay, today's the day. Blah blah blah. Our lives are on the matter for those those who cannot defend themselves. All right, so let's go in there. Let's do what we're trained for, America. But at the same time, it's like he's gonna send you to your death. He will. And you know what? I'm getting vibes that Hokett, bro, he's not leading the charge with you guys. He's staying back. He's letting y'all go up before him, and then he's gonna get the Medal of Honor for your deaths. You're not getting shit. Guess what? Because you're fucking dead. Josh Hokett will get all of the honor because he's the only one who stayed alive. Jamal Hill, brother, same thing. Quality of life. You're just not a good person to live with. I don't want you as my battle buddy. I don't want you as my bunkmate. I don't want you in my platoon. Not John Jones though. I feel like he's a good guy. Let's be real. He's a good guy. Ian Gary. He's a man of many words. He like many fucking words. You talk so much, but holy shit. Taking that aside, jokes aside, no, I feel like he would be a good leader. He would do very good physically, and yeah, I feel like he would bring actual contribution. But one thing I would like to say is like, those times when like you're out on the field and you're like getting training and it's just it's fucking 09 010 in the fucking morning, and we're listening to some lieutenant give us some fucking speech, some ramble about this and that. We don't give a fuck. We really don't. And Ian Gary would be like, he would ask questions like, and I'll turn, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Shut the fuck up. Like, we're trying to go we're trying to go to lights out, bro. We're trying to sleep. We're trying to prep our fire. We're trying to fucking burn, bro, and everything, bro. And you want to fucking keep asking questions. Like, he would ask so many questions that the drill sergeants will get annoyed. And then they'll fuck us up. But shut the fuck. I mean, I don't know why. I labeled him as green, but I should not be rambling. But Kelvin Gastelum, same thing with DC, bro. You're lucky to pass the fucking AFT in the beginning. But yeah, that's about it. Third platoon, or platoon M through R. Perhaps the best platoon sergeant I could choose in all of the UFC, Brass Mitchell. Brother, Brass Mitchell. This man is like, he's a platoon sergeant, but he's working his way up. He will be a 4-star general. He will lead entire battalions. All right? This man will dedicate his whole life for America, God, women, guns, freedom. Boom. Like, this man, he will go up and down, death and above, death and return, whatever you want to say it. This man loves America. Money Moicano, he's very good politically. No matter what, I see Moicano as an equal NCO. It doesn't matter what administration he might be working under, he will be equal amongst all of them. And I feel like that's fair. That's a good NCO. A good NCO. Non-biased, but yeah. Yeah, Luke Rockhold, I feel like you're going to fuck us up. And hint, hint, like, let's just say, for example, purely hypothetical. Let's just say if we were to come back from, how do I say this? If we were to come back from HBL, I get the vibes that Luke Rockhold would try to sneak in like 500 cans of Zins and, try to sell them amongst the trainees. But, word of mouth, blah, 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 blah. The drill sergeants, they're going to find out. Guess what? They're going to fucking take away our day passes. They're going to fuck us up for hours and hours and hours upon days upon days upon days until motherfuckers heat cap. And, Luke Rockhold, you're that guy, brother. You don't give a fuck about anyone else, bro. You trying to make a buck. You trying to do what you got to do. Fuck them. Fuck everyone else but you. BJ Penn, brother. Is it like, I'm thinking like, bro, you're like a Russian spy, brother. You're talking all this nonsense. You're a fucking conspiracy theorist. Like, what are you doing in the army, brother? What are you doing? Yoel Romero? Good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. And yeah, that's third platoon. What else I gotta say? Yeah, I feel like these guys, some of these guys, based off their pictures, their vibes, I feel like they'll be very good with some weapons. Give them an M4, put them in their hands, and, they'll do everything they got to do. Yeah, okay. Last but not least, fourth platoon. We got Chael, the undefeated Sonnen, as our platoon sergeant. Squad leaders, GSP, Silva, hint, and Thompson, Wonderboy Thompson. I feel like these guys, good attitude, no nonsense, get straight to the point, kind of like DJ, supportive. They'll discipline you, but nothing to the extreme of like, nothing to that extreme. Okay, they're not gonna just fuck you over just for their pleasure, but if you fuck up, they will discipline you. I feel like some good guys would be Pfeiffer. I feel like this guy, his physicality, his presence, his aura, he gives the vibes of really good military, really good army, really good sergeant. This man, he could probably go from private to goddamn staff sergeant in a fucking 4 to 6 year contract. I'm not joking. I get that vibes. Strickland, you're good, brother. Like, about guns, this is probably it. That's probably it, brother. All right, you'll shoot a 40 at a 40. That's probably it. Usman, motherfucker, you fucking make Usman do a 350 deadlift. He's dead. He's dead. Them knees are gonna give up. He's done for. Patty Plymouth, Patty the fucking Patty Pimlet. Let me give you a scenario. It's 3 a.m. You're tired. You're doing fire guard, and 3:45 comes around. Hey Patty, it's your fire guard shift. Mate, what? It's your fire guard shift. Wake me up in 10. All right. 10 minutes later go by. Hey Patty, it's your fire guard shift. Mate, no one's gonna make me do this fire guard shift, alright? I'm a fucking scout, so you're not gonna make me do shit. You'll do fucking nothing. And, we'll have this big back and forth commotion. I'm like, bro, drill sergeants are gonna hear us. They're gonna come upstairs and fuck us up. Just do your fire guard. He'll get up, do his fire guard for like 5 minutes, and then wake up the next fire guard so that he could go straight to bed. And he'll just fuck over everyone. Yeah, he would not. He would be the shitbag of the whole fucking platoon, and he just would not listen at all. Yeah. That's about it. And going back to Strickland, I feel like he'd be good, marksman wise, but in terms of the other platoon, I feel like he would not take feedback very well. Let's just say, for example, platoon sergeants, squad leaders, especially during, AIT, they alternate. And let's just say, for example, Kimbo Slice, boom. Congratulations, brother. You're a squad leader. You're a platoon sergeant. Sean Strickland. Here's the fucking thing, brother. Here's the fucking thing. Why the fuck are you fucking platoon sergeant? Why the fuck should I listen from you? You're fucking lazy, fucking cowardless. You don't fucking do shit. You're not a fucking leader. You're a fucking piece of shit. I don't care. You're a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, he would just not hold back under any circumstance whatsoever. Yeah, that's about it. So with that being said, let's go to the rankings, or the winner you know, very not hard, not hard. I actually did rank them. I actually did place them on each category from best to worst, and I accumulated all the scores to see what the placement be. And in last place, or in fourth place, I would have to give it to third platoon. Third platoon. Yeah. Yeah. Third platoon. I gave them first place in the AFT. I feel like physically they're there. They're good. You know, they're good overall. Overall, I'm not saying everyone's a fucking 500 prodigy, but I would say accumulatively they would give the highest AFT average. But other than that, straight shit. I put them last place in the quality of life and the lethality. So they don't bring much to the table other than an AFT, other than their physicality. And, you know, that means a lot. That means a lot, okay? You can't just be good at one thing and then be dog shit on the other shit. Okay. In third place, unfortunately, it's got to be fourth platoon. Fourth platoon! I gave them third place in the AFT, third place in the quality of life, and third place in lethality. Mediocre all through and through. Not the worst, certainly not the best, but at least they're not the bottom of the barrel. Okay, all right. Let's be realistic. I'm gonna show out first place first, so that we'll save second place later. But in first place of this entire UFC Army platoon, I gotta give it. Drum roll, please. No surprise. Second platoon, which means second place is first platoon. All right, second place. First platoon. I gave them second place in quality of life and first place actually in lethality. Spell lethality. Anyways, I feel like they'll do very good if they are deployed. I feel like they will work best with together. And I feel like, yeah, they'll be great second place, quality of life. But when it comes to the AFT, I feel like they'll do last. So I just think they're the most unfit. I feel like they'll use more of their brains than their physicality. But it is what it is. But it was close. It wasn't like a wide margin. But yeah, second platoon won. I give him second place in the AFT, first place in quality of life, and second place in lethality. And overall, I got to give it to second platoon as the overall winner. Overall winner. Okay, I'm not saying they're the best in everything, but they're the overall highest average. And so, yeah, second platoon, you are the UFC fighter platoon winner. Yay. All right, that's about it. Oh, what's this? Do we got a post-credit scene? That's crazy, trainee. No, I mean, shit, there's nothing here. Oh, what's this? Oh, boy. It's not me, guys. It's not me. It popped up on the screen, guys. I guess you just got to listen to what it says, okay? It's not like it could do any other shit. Oh, shit, it's spinning. Come on, guys. Come on. That's some bonus fun points. It's spinning. Come on. Work with me. All right, that's about it. Yeah. Oh, it's going away. All right, then. Well, yeah, that's the end of the world. More content coming soon. Thank you.